Well, hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of The Morning Buzz right here on Voice of the People Television. I am David Edwin, and I'm glad to be here this beautiful morning.
And yes, I am a different Jason. It's a beautiful Saturday morning live from our studio here in Lagos.
Well, it's a beautiful morning, just like she said. And again, we have so much to serve you this beautiful morning. And one of our major talking points this morning is Gana telling the world to know that PDP is stronger. And he also confirms the move to bring Peter Gregory back to the PDP ahead of 2027. Interesting conversation we're having there.
I totally agree with you. And yes, there's another story where the police superintendent is making a whole lot of noise, drawing attention to the people, saying it's totally unfair. Retired police superintendent condemns 2.8 million naira gratuity after 35 years of service. This has sparked a lot of reaction, and I can't wait for us to talk about it. But these are the major topics of discussion for today. However, we also have other interesting trending stories. But before we get started, we urge you to kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on subscribe button on the YouTube channel. At YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are VOP TV Live. Also visit our website at www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. As Voice of the People Television, your opinion matters here to us. Therefore, we encourage you to be a part of the conversation. Do well to call in and share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp on 090-447-32605. 090-447-32605 is the number to call, and because here, your voice matters most.
Oh, well, interestingly, that, of course, is our major talking points, just like she rightly pointed out. But there are some other trending conversations that did happen yesterday, one of which is the fact that Peter Gregory, the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, says his current focus is on the welfare of Nigerians, not the 2027 elections. While speaking to journalists, Obi emphasized the need to shift national conversation from politics to governance, calling for urgent investment in education, healthcare, and poverty reduction. Well, interestingly, he criticized the political class for misplaced priorities, highlighting the contrast between politicians' luxury lifestyles and the poor state of public schools. Well, these cannot be overemphasized because, again, when you look at the fact that sometimes politicians will always be politicians. Right. It is gearing close to another election cycle. So there is always that notch to wanting to campaign and then leave governance, as it were. One that comes to mind is the fact that, yes, some persons just yesterday were talking about the fact that the president has no business practically talking about how the ruling party should be having a befitting secretariat. And then some are also saying, is that even what is of major concerns to Nigerians? Nigerians are not eating well. The effect of the economy is really terrible. A lot has been around the conversation about the economy, insecurity, and health, just like Peter Obi pointed out. But the most important part of this conversation is the fact that politicians will always be politicians, but in the mix of it, there is also the part where people like us would say, let's also be human enough.
People like us.
Yes,
I like
people
the
like us. Like me.
People like us, really. But I quite understand this point, even though a lot of people have made a political point from whatever he said. But the reality is, I think for the All Progressives Congress, whether you want to build a secretariat or not should be the business of those holding offices in the party. I mean, the party chairman,
Exactly.
secretary. That's why you have executives within the party. They should. I mean, parties are supposed to be a structured organization. So whatever business you want to run, there should be left to the leadership of the party, and it shouldn't be something that Nigerians should have to be bothered about. I mean, maybe we just want to see pictures online to say, oh, APC have a new secretariat in Abuja,
and they have the money. I mean, they
exactly.
Have the money.
They have the money. They have the capacity. They have the they have the backing and all of that. But really, I like how things are happening. It's not new, actually, that politics or politicking begin immediately an election is won, especially if it's a first-time governor or president, whoever. From day one, they're already looking at strategies to put in place to ensure that there is a re-election. But where is the place of the people?
Exactly.
Tawabi said something that is quite important. It's about the people. We cannot ignore students who are suffering. I mean, he had to support, I think, this university that had issues with their dentistry department and all. Yeah. Those are the issues. Those are the way to impact lives. We have children that are suffering. Though for me, I have some reservation about the choice of pictures Peter Obi choose to make, because it makes it look as if the North is all about alimanjaries and there's nobody making it, or it's all about poverty. Every time he posts something from the North, it's about going to the slums and the likes. But I want him to go beyond that. There are slums in the Southeast. There are slums in the Southwest. Lagos, as beautiful as Lagos State is, there are slums.
Slums as
no,
well.
Because I have to emphasize as beautiful. Maybe we say it's the biggest in Nigeria. Maybe across Africa you can rate Lagos, but the truth is there are slums everywhere. Those are the places that impact should be made and felt. There's also the place of healthcare. There are a lot of people in the hospitals,
can never be overemphasized.
That cannot even pay their bills. What happens to subsidizing healthcare for people within certain age group, and of course maybe people that have to battle with life-threatening sicknesses, maybe people that are in situations that were not caused. I mean, there are some health issues that it's beyond you. You know, we need data in this country. We need to look into what the reality of Nigerians are, pay attention into details, and it shouldn't be about when Nigerians call out the government and we go about saying that we are giving palliative or rice and 5,000 naira. Nigeria should go beyond that. We should have basic amenities that Nigerians can access directly, and that way people will say that, okay, we're enjoying the dividend of democracy. It's never about politics. Nah. At the end of the day, what would your administration be known for? We appreciate the infrastructure, we appreciate everything that you've said in your manifesto, but Nigerians want to feel governance.
I mean, it's the major question there. If Nigerians at the micro level cannot feel governance, then unfortunately everything that is being said on paper. And governance is not just about paper. I hear the handlers of the president say the economy is working. In fact, just 2 days ago, the vice president did say that the policies of the present administration is working big time and it's yielding results. And then the question would be, if you're saying it's yielding results, just because we paid IMF loan, what's that part of the loan that they consistently pay? Anyways, the IMF loan, anyways. So if that is the conversation and that is the only part you can say as a government we're doing well, then
no, I don't even think that's the only part. Actually,
I'm just saying.
Actually, there are a lot of things that the government of the day is getting right, but it's affecting macro. We need to come down to the people.
That's
when
exactly
you talk
where
about
I'm going,
politics,
really.
you tell us that politics is local. But governance should be local. That's the way to go.
That's the unfortunate part of this
one thing
country.
that after everything
local.
said and done during their NEC meeting, the only thing I could maybe make sense out of was the fact that he called out the governors and told them that they need to wet the ground more. And this is not about bribe. This is about the governors relating with the people, working hand in hand with the local government council chairman, and ensure that Nigerians really have a country they can call home in all sense of it. But outside that, there is more that needs to be done. We cannot, all this, we are able to save money, governors are making more money. I understand the impact of making more money, but Nigerians want to feel it. And on the part of Nigerians, I think that we should start a project or join the hashtag 774 local government. I think that has been on for a while now. I saw it online, where a lot of people need to start holding local government chairmen accountable.
But the honest truth, again, is the fact that if you want to start holding the local government accountable, have you also forgotten that whatever trickles down to local government will never get to them until it gets to the governor?
It gets to the state government first, and it comes to the local government. Let me tell you something.
I actually think it goes to the local government.
No, yes, it goes to the local government. It goes. I'm saying this with all facts. It goes to the local government. What percentage and what they choose to do with it might be different. At least I've been privileged to. I don't need to mention name.
Okay.
But at least I know that for the local government organization, what are they called? Gana, there's something they call local, NOGE.
Yeah.
Is that what they are called? There's
the
something for
local government, like the
association and all. And trust me, a lot of people do not focus on local government because we feel like they are the ones not benefiting from what Nigeria has.
The unfortunate part,
they actually have access to it. But for me, I feel like if you
go trying to find out the books of the local government, trust me, you will get the major kickback of your life.
I'm not about the books of the local government.
Because the truth
I'm about
is,
a local government that functions.
If the presidency is saying we've done as well as giving to the governors more money, and the governors will say the local governments too are getting more money. If we cannot get
David,
the books clearly,
did you go through the news this week? Did you
there's nobody that is accounting for anything.
The number of local government areas, even LCDAs in Lagos State, commissioning projects that even state governors in Nigeria have never commissioned. Where did they make money from? Let's not make excuses or make a case for these people. If you know what different tiers of government are supposed to do, it will be easier for all of us. Right. And trust me, the heat is on the president now, and that is why you will know that he's feeling it. That's why you have to call out the governors. If you call out somebody and if it is not stopping on my table, I will call out the next person. Nigerians are more aware now. Nigerians are more interested in every process that comes from whether budget to how it goes down. Yes, monies will be stolen, but we have to minimize that. There should be action. There should be something to show for your tenure as maybe an appointee, whether a commissioner or an elected councillor or a chairman or a governor or whatever. Nigerians, we need to hold ourselves accountable. It's high time we stopped make excusing for some and judging some. Every tier of government is important. If 36 states in this country are working very well, I don't even think that the burden will be on just Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. We need to start holding people accountable. Bayelsa receives a lot of money. We are not talking about it. And every local government in the oil-rich region receives so much money than every other state in this country.
Again, just like she mentioned, truly, we need to start holding our leaders accountable from the local government level. Trust me, you don't want to imagine how much these people earn. But then, like some quarters will say, the bulk of the conversation still lies with the president, because they would say, if you're giving so much money, ask them what they're doing with the money. And I like the fact that the president is also saying clearly, ask your local, your governors what they're doing with the money. Ask your local government chairman what they're doing with the money. These questions we will consistently ask. Let's get to another conversation quickly. The House of Representatives Joint Committee on Public Accounts and Public Assets has threatened to issue an arrest warrant for Central Bank Governor Olayemi Cardoso over his continued refusal to appear before the panel. The committee is probing alleged violations of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007 and Finance Act 2020, particularly the remittance of operating surpluses and handling of unclaimed dividends and dormant accounts. According to lawmakers Bamidele Salam and Ademorin Kuye, the CBN owes 5.2 trillion naira in operating surpluses from 2016 to 2022, with 3.64 trillion naira expected to be remitted within 14 days of a June 27, 2025 letter. Now, there we go again. So when I hear these figures, what comes to mind is, how soon are we going to start having people behind bars?
That's what comes to mind.
Honestly.
When I hear these figures, what comes to my own mind is, how many will they for Nigeria Gogo?
You know, the reason,
if we share the money, at least we have a lot of land.
No,
maybe everybody just build their own community and develop it.
So the part of sharing money, I would not subscribe to. You know why? Because it's only going to create anarchy.
Not like you are giving us money to eat.
I'm still saying the same thing. So if you hear that Adefunke is been giving 10 million naira, David is been giving 10 million naira, and then one person who has the power of a gun is also giving the same money, you'll feel, okay, this guy will be rubbing shoulders with me, I can go rob him. In the part of anarchy, that's where I'm against sharing money.
Poor man. The other day, I was attacked by fellow poor people. It's not. Oh,
Jesus Christ! Don't go there.
No. But let's not
don't go. But really, like this conversation is. I mean, these surpluses are supposed to be remitted, to the Federation account and being utilized for something even more profitable to the Nigerian people. But if these monies are not being remitted and nobody is accounting for it, and nobody is going to court, nobody is being docked, then where lies the future of Nigeria?
Well, for me, I think that it is quite, apologies for choice of word, quite irresponsible of anyone that heads any public office in Nigeria, institution or what agency, to constantly be dragged before they do the right thing. If the Senate, if the National Assembly, whether the House of whatever, are asking that you come explain. If there are things that needs to be done, I think it is only commonsensical that you send a message, whether we are working on something, or at least appear, this is where we are, this is what we are doing. Because for me, this is not making a case for him. I've talked about irresponsibility on his part. But for me, these monies were before 2023, 2024.
That's even the strange part.
There was Emefiele, that was the governor. That was the governor of the CBN.
Right.
When all this where all these monies were supposed to have, the remittance was supposed to have started. So, as a new CBN governor, I'm sure that they are supposed to be handed over.
And he's been in the system.
You get
at the time.
I understand, but the ball is on the court
now.
Of course, as the governor. So it doesn't even matter whatever office he had held in the past. For me, it's about handing over. What documents were handed over to you? Where are we?
Exactly.
What do you have?
Come
You have stayed, yes, you have stayed over a year, not 2 years, but it's over a year in office. You should be able to account for how we got here and why we are here. Why our money is not remitted? As little as NEPA bill, maybe it's petty. When I moved into my house, before we got the prepaid meter, I asked for the NEPA bill, the last one before I came in. I made copies and I told the agent that whatever, because immediately I started processing the meter, I told the agent that I'm only going to be a part of what I started using.
Exactly.
So how will you now be a CBN governor? Invitation 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, to the point that they are now asking or threatening to arrest. I feel like a lot of these office holders take us as a joke in this country.
And then the unfortunate part is when they were going to affirm you as the CBN governor after you were nominated by the president, they would ask you, look, not that you will get to that post, I will be looking for you. And there it is. The governor can never be that busy to not attend to these kind of calls, because this is what makes you stand tall and credible in the face of Nigerians. If this level of funds are being asked after by the ones who are also elected by the Nigerian people, because they want to clearly,
because they are supposed to represent Nigerian people and speak the minds of Nigerians.
This is Nigeria coming to call you as a CBN governor. Look, come and explain this thing.
Don't you think that there's a problem with our system? I recall when
there's always been a systematic
I recall when the Ninth Assembly also called Emefiele. The excuse then was that it was on a trip with the president outside the country.
They did not return.
He actually returned, but we saw how that played out. What I'm saying now is, if there's a reason, come out openly to say this. The governor is not without deputies or head of departments. Can a representative at least, okay, maybe he's in Zimbabwe, trying to develop the economy of Zimbabwe above Nigeria, just maybe it's that benevolent. It might be possible. Right. You know, because when we say that we are going for conferences, seminars, and we are speaking to the world without speaking to the locals, it speaks well about how much value we place on ourselves. And we begin to wonder why do people treat Nigerians in an unpleasant way outside the country. You cannot be bigger than the institution.
I don't get it.
You cannot
really,
be bigger than the institution. When before your confirmation, you went before the house, stood before the house, answered questions. So why should you be invited and now we have stories? Well,
I'll be looking for you everywhere.
But sometimes I really wanted to say whatever has to be done should be done. But this is Nigeria. At the end of the day, you might still see Akpabio and Cardoso in the picture having fun at a party in Lagos before Monday morning. So
that's what politicians do. All right. Well, we cannot overemphasize the fact that these questions that we keep asking on a daily basis should help Nigerians understand where we are as a people and understand what next to do. Because trust me, I say this strongly every other time that I have the privilege. 2027 looks like it's a bit far, but it's close to you and I. What is supposed to be done as Nigerians is keep seeing this trajectory, keep having it in. Do not have selective amnesia, and that when it comes to electioneering period, because it's the truth. We have a way of forgetting things so easily. So,
David, it's not even about election now. Even the appointees, there are people that should be nominated for appointees that Nigerians should go out and say no.
Do you understand? I'm saying this because Nigerians need to know better and understand that this is, the way it's going. So come 2027, we can boldly tell ourselves that, okay, this is about time that I go defend my vote. And of course, I'm going to vote for my choice. Not because you're being coerced by ethnic divide or religious bias, no.
Whatever you choose to coerce you, whatever you choose.
Your choice.
Just make sure that you go out and vote and you don't have any influence on the next person.
I mean, it's just what it is.
If it is 10,000 naira, I'm not going to preach to you not to collect. If it is 10,000 naira, that is your live at the poll, like no problem.
If that's
if it is more important to you, if it is more important to you that your brother from your village wins the election, no problem. If you feel like somebody looks like is the future for you, no problem. But please do not in any way force anybody or coerce people to align with your choices.
Exactly. Well, this is where we have to draw anchor on this trendy conversation that did happen yesterday. But we're going to go on a very, very short break. When we return, we'll be looking at what the front pages of the national dailies are saying. And of course, we have with us in the studio the very one that you want to see this beautiful morning. I'm talking about Dr. Peter Anosike. He'll be joining us as we look through what the front pages of the national dailies are saying this beautiful morning. Let's take this very short break and we'll return to get into that conversation. Stay with us.
Many thanks for staying with the Morning Buzz on BOP television this beautiful Saturday morning. So it's time to talk about some of the stories that made it to the cover pages of some Nigerian dailies. Let's start with the stories on the cover page of the Saturday Punch. So on the cover page of the Saturday Punch, we see above the top, at the top of the mass, Tinubu seeks more time to verify 4 trillion naira Genco debts. 4 trillion naira, it's a lot of money, and yes, there's a talk around northern groups back Kwakwanso as FG Afenifere pushes back. The biggest story on the cover page of the Punch newspaper this morning says Nigerians risk deportation as UK scraps sponsorship for over 100 skilled jobs. Caregivers, artists, fashion designers, others affected, and also over 10,000 fear losing legal status. There is the story of notorious cultist who killed father still free. This is a report coming from a Rivers chief. And yes, talk about Oshun. Oshun must refund 7 months LG allocation, AGF tells Supreme Court. Looks like Oshun is going through a lot at this time. 1 minute there's an alignment, there's another minute there's a lot going on, but those are the stories on the cover page of the Punch newspaper.
Oh yes, because of our time, let's get to hear what our in-house analyst will be, which of the stories he will be chiming on. We'll bring him in just about now. I'm talking about Dr. Peter Anosike, who is Voice of the People TV's in-house political affairs analyst, and of course a major economic player in Nigeria. Doctor, a very, very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you.
All right, let's look at the Punch newspaper. Which of these headlines do you want to react to?
Well, the banner headline of the deportation, because there's a meltdown on the global economy. America is no more supporting as before. America is no more the big brother of the world. So, and this is affecting most countries in Europe because America has been solving their problems in the past, fighting their wars and so on and so forth. But Donald Trump has said that enough is enough. I'm going to face my own people. So that's why Britain now is now kind of looking inwards to see how they can raise their economy.
Okay.
Because what brought or the current prime minister in office is because their economy was going down. So over 90% of Nigerians in UK are into this care giver thing. Even or the citizens are not even getting enough of the job. The job that they were refusing to do about 10 years ago.
They are
They are
begging
now
for
looking
it now,
for it.
right?
Understand? And that's it's going to affect a lot of Nigerians there.
Well, looking at the fact that, just like you pointed out, the world economy is at a meltdown, is there the possibility that Nigerians who are professionals in this field, and now I'm talking about the caregiving job, would maybe seek succor in some other countries if the UK seemed to be a place that they are not comfortable
Getting
staying in?
suffocated. Well,
So to say.
about last month, UK increased their wage bill, understand, to 12.5 pounds for people from 20 years upwards. Understand me? So, which is a lot of money. And there in UK, they cannot pay you lower than your certificate. Unlike in Nigeria, where somebody with Dangote will be recruiting the PhD holders to be driving his trucks. It cannot happen in UK. So, because of the increase in wages, they are now have to pay more. Understand me? That there were protests there few months ago. So this is affecting their economy. So Nigerians can think of going to other countries, but not really Europe, but Asia.
Okay.
Okay, I also want to point it out that this isn't just about Nigerians now. It's about immigrants generally.
Yes, in the UK.
It's just that it's
But yeah,
affecting
Nigerians
us.
have
Then talk
quite a
about
number in the
PhD
UK.
drivers in Nigeria. I think it's not really about the qualification. It's what you choose to apply with. We have a lot of people that want to take up government jobs, and they will tell you that the opening is for SSE holders, and they will drop everything they have, all the qualifications, just to get the job.
But it can happen
so
in UK.
it happens. So there are people that actually are masters holders in the UK, and they have to take courses to be able to get jobs.
Well, there are masters holders in the UK that does not have the professional job.
You don't get what I'm saying. It's the job you want to take and the qualification that is required.
About you. Okay.
So if you have a master's in economics and you want to work as a caregiver, there are courses you have to take. They will pay you based on that. They are not going to pay you because you found your way to the UK studying economics. I just wanted to clarify that, because even in Nigeria, I don't think that it's ever been about doing it.
Let's jump to another paper because of our time. We'll just take one more paper and we'll be going straight to the main conversation. The Saturday Times, and there are quite some headlines on the Saturday Times. Agony tears as 27 killed in Riyam's attack gets mass burial. The Saturday Times is what we're x-raying right now. Above the nameplates there, you see another headline: Tinubu to Gencos will pay you after audit of 4 trillion naira debt. Interesting one there. Thames breaks barriers, crowned Africa's best-selling female act. Great one there for Thames. Reps threatens arrest of CBN governor over 5.2 trillion naira operating surplus. FG sets 12 as minimum age for GSS 1 admission. FG sets 12 years as minimum age for GSS admission. I had to take that again. Nigeria backs AU, Egypt's El Enani's bid for UNESCO's Secretary General. NFF reappoints Manu Gaba and names Aduku as Falconet's coach. The bottom straight there: respect other parties, value democracy, ADC tells Yilwatda. Well, these are the headlines right there at the Saturday Times. Doctor, because of our time, just one of the conversation. You want to pick quickly?
I want to talk about the killings because Nigeria has become what Thomas Hobbes' concept of state, a state where life is brutal and short. About 2 months ago, if it's of 2 months, Nigerians were shouting of what happened in Benue State. Before then, it was a plateau state. And I say that within, I said before the end of the month, that Tinubu will still be commiserating with people because he has no answer to this. Understand? He has no answer to this, which is very, very unfortunate.
Quite unfortunate, really. We hope that the killings in these states truly get attended to, and maybe someday soon.
Get attended to or dealt with. I don't think that this is a good place to be as a nation. Trust me, 27%. Really. 27%. It's not even about, oh, somebody had an accident anymore. It's about people being killed, people massacred. And it's becoming a norm. You see, local communities becoming ravaged by terrorist groups. And we don't even know, we can't even point, and it's annoying that we don't have the right data. So community people say it's these people, security intelligence come to tell us it's something else. How long are we going to do this? It's really heart-wrenching. This is not the place to be. 27 people buried, and everything we hear is, oh, we apologize, we're on our toes, we're on top of it. And you now see military defense chief trying to defend something that is not defendable. We want actions. We want actions. We want Nigerians' life to be protested. Enough of the politicking and games with the lives of Nigerians. Governors, speak truth to power. If something is not happening, the truth is, you might call out the president as long as you want to, but let the government speak, the governors speak the truth. Then it will be easy for everybody to say, this is what it is. If the governors are not being cowardly in all of these things, I think that everybody would know that there's so much that needs to be done.
All right, then, because of our time, this is where we have to draw anchor on the newspaper. Extracting what the front pages of the national dailies is saying this morning. Quickly, let's get to the main conversation proper. Interestingly, Jerry Gana, one of the founding members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says the PDP is stronger and also confirms move to bring back Peter Obi ahead of the 2027 election. This and more is what we'll be talking about this beautiful morning. Do stay with us just after this quick break. Glad to have you back. It is still the Morning Boards right here on Voice of the People Television. Now let's get to the main conversation proper. The People's Democratic Party's founding member, Jerry Gana, says the party is actively reaching out to former members, including Peter Gregory Obi, to return ahead of the 2027 elections. Speaking in an interview, Gana said the party has resolved its internal crisis and is now a credible alternative to the ruling APC. He revealed he is leading the reconciliation delegation and noted that if he were Atiku Abubakar, he would have stepped down in 2023 for Peter Obi. Ghana described Nigeria's economy under the APC as chaotic and stressed that the PDP is prepared to reclaim power. What a line to use. Okay, well, I'm not here to analyze this. We still have with us Dr. Peter Anosike, who, like I told you earlier, is VOP TV's in-house analyst and, of course, an economist by profession. Doctor, once again, I want to say welcome and thank you for staying with us. This conversation about 2027, like you know, will not stop anytime soon. The PDP is presently talking tough. And, of course, Jerry Gana, you know for a fact that he's a big player when it comes to the PDP's politics. Let's hear from you what your general overview of his statements are. Plus, the fact that he also said that he's heading the reconciliation team. One wants to ask the reconciliation, is it going to extend to the likes of Nyesom Wike, who is presently dining with the opposition party on a daily basis? Or is there something else that Jerry Gana is trying to tell Nigerians that we don't know?
That Saraki did not tell us.
Okay.
Because Saraki was supposed to head the team and the committee at first.
Before I walked into the studio, I read what Ayo Fayoshe said, and I believed in it strongly. Ayo Fayoshe said, with prayers, PDP will come forth in 2027. With prayers, that's God's help.
Doctor, this is sarcasm
I'm
at its
telling you
peak
what
right now.
Ayo Fayoshe said.
I saw it actually.
I saw it as well.
That's why I was staring that way. The
but
moment
I
you
just
said
felt-
Ayafayoshe, I was like, Doctor, not today.
No, I believe that.
Okay, on this one, you believe Ayafayoshe.
I believe what Ayo Fayoshe said is true.
So
With praying and fasting, PDP will come forth
oh wow,
in 2027.
wow.
Okay, Doctor,
Now
beyond
okay, go
winning
ahead.
elections, do you see
No, the purpose of foreign political parties is to win an election.
well, one
Just
of
like the purpose of going into
I don't have
business
the name now.
is to make profit.
I think one of the woman leader or something, one of their key stakeholders was in an interview on Thursday night, and she talked about reorganizing the House haven't gone bad, saying that it's not about winning elections now. That for them, they would rather put things in order, go for the election and see how things turn. But they cannot continue to be like this. Do you have any hopes for the PDP at all?
Excuse me, it's just like a football team saying it's not about winning the match. Let's all just reorganize and go to the field and see what happens.
That's Arsenal Football Club. I need to throw this shade there. Ike Squeeze at the other end.
What's happening today?
No, but what I want to find out, Doctor, is the fact that Jerry Gana is practically trying to let Nigerians understand that, again, PDP is gearing back for 2027. But from your position, looking at the person of Jerry Gana, and just like Adefunke rightly pointed out a couple of days ago, I saw that the person of Olubukola Saraki is supposed to be heading the reconciliation team. So Jerry Gana saying, I'm heading this, but what's the understanding between the political party holders of the PDP in terms of reconciliation? And then do you see the PDP in any way coming together strongly again with some very aggrieved members at the other side of the divide?
Those who still remains in PDP as we speak are working for Boname Tinubu.
Everybody from top to bottom?
Those of them who still remain in PDP as we speak, Jerry Gana saying that Peter Obi should come back is working for Boname Tinubu, but Peter Obi is not going back. Understand me? So those who are interested in fighting for 2027 are leaving PDP.
No, but Barrister, when you say Jerry Gana as it stands is working for Tinubu, can you help Nigeria?
That's an allegation, actually.
Yes,
That's
one.
very heavy allegation, really.
One, the issue is this: they say a people united can never be defeated.
Right.
Understand me? And they don't want P2B to join article in ADC. Understand me? So what they are doing is to separate P2B from article.
Doctor, they don't want Peter Obi to join article in
Understand me?
ADC. Or Peter Obi himself is seeing how the coalition is going, because the coalition obviously looks like a vehicle remodeled for Atiku Abubakar. And for Peter Obi himself, he has not in any way, he has identified with the coalition, but he has not left the Labour Party. Even with all of the threats coming from the Labour Party leadership and the likes, you can see that more than ever, Peter Obi has been taking his time when it comes to making a choice as to which vehicle to use in 2027.
The best politics that P2B would play in 2027 is to join article.
Why?
And if he fails to do that, he's also working for Boname Tinubu. And P2B is a friend, understand me, for more than 20 years now. If they want to push Tinubu out in 2027, he must align with with Atiku Abubakar. Anything other than that, I will not trust him anymore. Period.
Okay, let's move from this table and get to Benin City, where we have Comrade Ibrahim Momo joining us. Well, Comrade Ibrahim is a lecturer of political science at the Ambrose Ali University in Edo State, and also a public affairs analyst, a public affairs commentator as well. Comrade, a very good morning to you.
Happy weekend. Quite an interesting conversation this morning.
Yeah, very true. Very, very interesting. And that's why we want you to also chime in your thoughts on the conversation. Jerry Gana saying at this point, we want to bring back the PDP, we want to make it stronger, and of course, the PDP should be a major vehicle for Nigerians to believe in 2027. What's your take of the general overview of this conversation, basically?
Well, thank you very much. My take is strictly that whatever the PDP can do to become stronger, though they have waited too late to do this, they ought to do. See, there are two sides of the conversation. The issue about Jerry Gana's efforts, like the guest in the studio already talked about, originally, or the score anchor, it was originally supposed to be Saraki. When did they move from Saraki, Bukola, Saraki to Jerry Gana is what I don't know. But I think they waited for too long, too late to try to reconcile. And then, again, like my friend in the studio has said, if Obi bites that bait, then it shows how naive he is as a politician. Very naive, that would be. I said this because the figures speak for themselves. And then the aphorism that says, a house divided against itself cannot stand. That's an American, former American president quote.
Right.
Yeah, so if Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar, and then with other, those in the others in the alliance, don't find a way to work together. If their individual ambitions supersede the collective interest, their collective interest, and of course the greater good of Nigeria, then it is like handing over the ticket once again, or the presidency a second time, to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So Peter Obi, this idea of I've not left Labour Party, sending the vice presidential candidate, to attend the General Saburi's meeting on the ground of reconciliation, is dead on arrival. So
okay.
Is divided into, I'm sorry, just this last point. PDP itself is divided into three. There is the Wike, and they have even Fayose that was quoted in the course of this conversation, is a Wike person. And of course, Shima Kinde of
Oyo State.
But he still has the G5 or G4 now, as it were, still firmly with him. Fayose is even in that group, So the PDP has that Fayose element, that Wike element still active within the party. Of course, within that same party, you have people like Atiku Abubakar and his allies. Atiku is perhaps the most recognizable member of the PDP, who has now left anyway. So that group have now left the PDP for the ADC, Atiku's camp. And they have a good number of high-profile politicians in that camp. I know that former Senator Roland Oye, who was the chief whip of the Senate in 1903,
right,
is in that camp too, for example. So, and then of course you have those who are willing to, like Jerry Gana, like Bukola Saraki, who are working to, to unite the party. So the PDP is into three parts. Labour is into two. So if they don't find a way to work together in ADC, then just consider that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the second term in office.
All right, thank you very much for that submission. But like I would say, and I still stand on the fact that it's important for the PDP to be able to regroup at a time like this. What do you make of the struggles within the coalition, the ADC, and do you see any possibility of the PDP being able to woo some of their members back? When I talk about members now, I'm not talking about those contesting in any elective position. We've seen the case of over 5,000 people decamping from the party at once. We've seen cases of a governor defecting from the PDP to another party and moving all of the structures. So what can you say about PDP's lifespan as it is right now?
Well, that's the critical issue. That's the critical issue. The PDP today waited too late, too long, and too late to reconcile. We're talking about.
You keep saying they waited too long. What would they have done differently? What would they have done in the early days?
The wicked elements or wicked, I'm looking for a more appropriate, description for what wicked. The wicked bug could have been excised a long time ago. They didn't. Now, it is not even about wicked now. It has gone beyond that. The ADC is now, you see, the core of the ADC are disaffected members or disgruntled the members of the PDP and the APC. That's the core of the ADC now. So when you look at some of these persons, they are people who have well-established structure. When you call Atiku Abubakar, it's not Atiku Abubakar you're looking at, it is the structure he has across the country. Okay. If you move that structure away from the PDP into the into the ADC, what that simply means is that the PDP has lost a good chunk of its members. And it can't come back. Okay. It can't do anything significant. You are seeing that because of even that wicked element, people like Sheriff Oboriwori, people like former current governors of Delta and Akwa Ibom State have defected to the opposition APC, or the ruling party APC. That is a consequence of so they waited too long, too late.
All right, then.
Now, if the PDP is interested, in my humble opinion, in winning election, they should be seeking a broader coalition. ACN did it those days. They aligned with ANPP. AD did it with APP. ACN did it with ANPP. When they brought in people like late interim, I think it was Shenekon, if I'm not mistaken. They brought people like that to conduct the election. When even that people are conducting under the ACN ticket in a coalition with the APP. So I think that what the PDP can do is not a merger with the ADC, but if they are serious about 2027, where they are now, they waited too long, too late. They can only seek a coalition with a party as formidable now at the ADC. That's the only way they can effectively make any inroads.
All right, then. Let's come back to the studio here. Doctor, interestingly, he did mention two major governors in the PDP that have defected to the APC, the governors of Delta State and, of course, Akwa Ibom State. Now, looking at this level of defections, there is also the part of funding when you have a sitting governor in a particular political party. But with the conversation around bringing together all of the aggrieved members of PDP, from your position, do you think that successfully the PDP's present working committee can do better in bringing this coalition, the aggrieved members together? Plus, if that will be possible, what then do you think can be done to the likes of the present Minister of the FCT, who is also, according to some quarters, working for the president and working against the party that he claims he's never going to leave?
Are you in Nigeria at all?
Well, I am actually.
Where is that statement? According to some sources. So you are not seeing what is happening.
I'm only saying
you are not seeing
some quarters have said
that's the right word to use. Actually, every Nigerian is not saying the same thing.
So the issue is this: I definitely ask a question. That's what would have because my friend in Benin said that PDP waited for too long, and you asked what would have been done. What would have been done is immediately after that presidential election, sack Wike from PDP. If I'm the national chairman, that's a step I would have taken. Understand? Okay. You don't condone evil. You eliminate evil. You don't condone evil. So Wike is an evil in PDP, and they allowed him to get root.
Maybe they know better.
And that's their mistake. And today, PDP is dead.
Why do you think they allowed Wike to that level?
Exactly.
Because Damagu is a Tinubu agent.
That's another allegation.
Damagu is a Tinubu agent.
I think it's that's another allegation.
Understand me?
Allegedly comes into this conversation.
Yes. So the issue is They are now the Wike to develop a route in PDP. If he was sacked a week after that presidential election, Tinubu would have thought 2 times before giving him that appointment.
So you think that sacking him from the PDP
Because
would have...
the meant is for him to remain in PDP and destroy PDP. That was the mission, which they are now to happen.
But Dr.
So for me,
yes,
the reconciliation committee is just a waste of time. Understand me?
You think they cannot get anything from it at all?
PDP is dead. PDP is dead. Understand? Those who are remaining are working for Tinubu in PDP. So Gana is saying that P2B should return to PDP and work with Nelson Wike. Is that what he is saying? Well, Bob Marley sang a song, once a man, twice a child.
No.
So that's the area that Jerry Gana
Well,
is
Doctor,
at
I'm
stake.
still going to stay with you on the path of this week's conversation. I asked you earlier, why do you think the PDP's working committee and, of course, the leadership of the PDP chose not to take out Nyesom Wike like you did say you were going to do if you were in that position? Why do you think they did not take him out? Plus, there is the conversation about the fact that Wike and his state at the time had the funding, which is, of course, what makes these political parties even stronger. You think that was...
Rivers is the second richest state in the country.
You think that's not weighty enough for a reason for the PDP not to have sacked Wike after they discovered that he went against them at the time?
I say...
For me, I don't even think it was after the election that whatever was supposed to be done should have been done. We are just putting emotions ahead of what happens in Nigerian politics. Wike was vocal enough to declare his stand immediately the primaries were done in the PDP.
That's the reason
So coming to talk about whether the monies or whatever, I mean, after the election, he was leaving as governor to and handed over to Siminalayi Fubara, which is another story for another day. The position, we cannot continue to want to address an injury without looking at the accident. The stories, the trajectory for PDP did not start in 2023. We saw all the games that have been played in and out. As a matter of fact, if PDP wants to uphold values and discipline as a party that was at the forefront from the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1998, I think that the in and out of Atiku Abubakar shouldn't have been welcome to start with. Abubakar Atiku is resigning for PDP for the 3rd time. Whatever conversations had happened between him and the president at the time, they had their issues, you left, you came back. People stayed back in the party. I am one of the people that believe that Wike took the fight far too long.
Now,
I mean, if you are aggrieved...
I like the fact that you just said that Wike took the fight far too long.
Yes.
My question, which again I'm still asking...
Because
Doctor,
all this conversation around before, after the
looking at the
election,
fact
no,
that
PDP has been dealing with...
the damages have been done.
It's like a diabetes patient that had an injury.
Doctor, the damages have been done so far in reconciliation. Why do you think...
There will be no reconciliation. It's just a waste of time.
Maybe that's a better place to stay. But where the war started now...
PDP is dead. PDP is dead.
But why are you pronouncing them dead? The way you call dead, you are killing them.
PDP, I have no sympathy for them because those of them remaining there are APC agents. Understand me? So PDP is dead.
Okay, let's go to Bini again. While we wrap up this conversation, comrade, again, the doctor still consistently reaffirmed his position about the fact that this reconciliation will never work. And you did say earlier that the PDP went a bit too late in trying to reconcile their aggrieved ones. My question to you would now be, why do you think, again, the PDP decided to stay that late? Is it as a result of the fact that there was a state that was practically funding the PDP at the time, which of course was powered by Nyesom Wike at the time? Do you think that has anything to play with the delay of the PDP not trying to reconcile all of their aggrieved members at the time? Or do you think the PDP did not just have the men, so to say, who are supposed to be the fathers and the voice that could bring these people together?
Well, it's a mix of both, in my opinion. First is that the BOT failed the party when it mattered most. Maybe because the BOT did not have a chairman. Even I don't know. Okay, until they appointed, I think the current chairman of the BOT. PDP did not have a BOT chairman. It was secretary that acted for a very long time, and in that time they allowed the challenge to first start. Secondly, is that this Wike is consistent too. Wike was the one who stood for the party.
Exactly.
When the national chairman of the party, as it was then, Adamu Muazu, at the camp, were five sitting governors.
Right.
People like Atiku Abubakar, people like Buka Saraki, all the camps. It was Wike. So he has been consistent. This Wike, he has been a fighter, a bulldozer kind of. The only challenge now is that he has brought the fight home. He's now fighting from within, fighting the home. That's where the challenge is. Second, my third point on this is that even though Wike was this good to the party, he funded the party. In fact, he produced two chairmen. This last chairman that resigned immediately after the election was a Wike product, the G5 product. The one before him from Rivers State was a Wike product. So at the time, he even produced chairmen for the party, national chairman for the party. So that kind of a person as strong as that, dealing with him would take days. And apparently the leadership of the party did not have it. And that's the last one. The current national chairman, is a wicked person. The national secretary, who has now been said, is a wicked person. So if national chairman, if you have national chairman, though acting, national secretary, though disputed, in your kitty, who's not going to remove you from the party?
Huge
so
question.
I think we have this game plan well planned out. The only challenge is that PDP, the remaining loyalists of the party, cannot read between the lines to see that as it is today, PDP cannot make any, even if Obi comes, Obi will not come, Obi will not lead PDP to the third position. Even if, okay, maybe third, but this PDP cannot deliver a victory at the general elections. They can't even take second ahead of the ADC. They can't. The only thing is that if they fail to coalesce or to work together with maybe the ADC, they will only end up handing over the presidency back to Tinubu for a second term.
Which is what they are working.
All right.
All right. Well, this is really a conversation that I truly would love us to continue, but of course, because of our time, again, I don't forget before we get to the next conversation, I wanted to find out from Doctor, looking at the fact that yes, you said the PDP from your own perspective is dead, and of course, this super solution would never work. If the PDP decides to merge with some of the smaller political parties, even merge with the likes of the Labour Party, would they find a voice in the very end?
You saw the picture of Abure and Nelson Wike. So they are the same thing. Understand me? They are the same thing. Understand? No, both of them have a mission. Understand me? Make 2027 easy for Boname Tinubu. Make sure for Junior Sabure, make sure that Obi doesn't run. For Nelson Wike, make sure that PDP is destroyed. So the two major parties that contested with APC in 2023, understand? They are there that to make sure that 2027 becomes easy for Boname Tinubu. So PDP merging with Boname with Labour Party is like ISWAP merging with Boko Haram or ISIS.
Interesting narrative
Which
out
is
there.
both, all of them are the same thing.
Okay, Doctor, thank you so much for that submission, but that view is solely yours and doesn't represent us on VOP TV. It's still the morning buzz on VOP television this beautiful Saturday morning, and trust me, political conversations are never going to be a very easy pie to bite. Trust me, a lot of conversations and angles are always involved in these conversations. But let's move on to the next story now, where reports have it that some retired police superintendents are complaining, and in a vocal voice, totally unfair, a retired police superintendent condemns 2.8 million gratuity after 35 years of service. Sad, happy, fair, whatever your thoughts are. We will discuss this after this break. Please stay with us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Many thanks for staying with us. It's still the morning buzz on your #1 television station, Voice of the People TV. So, retired Superintendent of Police Emmanuel Friday Irabore has condemned the 2.87 million naira gratuity paid to him after serving the Nigerian police force for 35 years. In a viral video, Irabore, who retired on July 1, 2024 from the Edo State Command, described the payment as highly unacceptable, revealing he also received 706,915 naira in pension arrears. His outcry adds to growing concerns over the poor treatment of retired security personnel in Nigeria. As of press time, the police authorities and PENCOM have not responded to his claims. But yes, there's so much to talk about this morning. We are still joined by our analyst in the studio, Dr. Peter Anosike, VOP in-house analyst, and of course joining us from Benin City is Comrade Ibrahim Momo, a lecturer of political science at Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma. And yes, we have been joined virtually by Mr. Dele Fanimo, VOP in-house analyst, to have a robust conversation and balance to this topic. So a lot of people have reacted to these videos. I don't know if we can see that video, but it's important that we hear from the superintendent, retired superintendent himself. Please take a listen.
I am SP Emmanuel Friday Irabo retired. I retired 1st July 2024. My gratuity lump sum. The lump sum, they called me this morning, I should come and sign for my lump sum. The lump sum signed for me is 2,870,451 naira. My pension area is 706,915 naira. My pension area. I retire as SP in Edo State Command. SP, Superintendent of Police. I retired as Superintendent of Police from Edo State Command 1st of July 2024. 1st of July 2024. I am aware this morning they said my lump sum is 2,870 naira 451 kobo. That is unacceptable. For 35 years, I served the Nigerian police. I am giving a gratuity of 2,870 naira 451 kobo. It's highly unacceptable. I will not sign. The Inspector General of Police the Inspector General of Police.
It's totally unacceptable. That's what Superintendent had to say. It's totally unacceptable. But before I come to in-house analyst, let's go straight to Benin and start with Comrade Ibrahim Momo, being a civil servant. I know that upon appointment, there are details in appointment letters, and what you are going to earn is going to be in your appointment letter, and what you are due is going to be a part of it. Because most times when conversations like this happen, we allow a lot of emotional rush, and at the end of the day, we lose the focus. Comrade Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. What do you make? How do you react to the submission from Superintendent of Police Emmanuel Friday, and also saying that this is unacceptable? Is it normal for retired civil servants to question what they earn, or are there conversations of negotiation? Are there possibilities of negotiation of what you are supposed to earn upon retirement?
Well, I think he knew exactly what he was going to earn at the end of his service, because it is a contributory pension scheme arrangement that's in place now. So I don't know what that video was meant to achieve.
Exactly.
But added to that, there are two other issues to it. One is that it is a social media era we are now, where, for example, everybody wants to trend. You see a couple, I think just over 2 months ago, a core member, went on social media,
right,
and she made some good money for herself in the course of that one. There was a wife, for example, who went to social media to say the day she started waking up at 4 a.m. was when her husband told her that a colleague in the office shared food with him. That was when she said every 4 a.m. I was kept up to bring my husband.
Right.
So it is an era of social media. So one can understand where he's coming from. Perhaps he wants to trend and then, of course, get some sympathy donations. People who have watched the video will be willing to give 5 million, 10 million, 1 million, 500,000. There can be a GoFundMe account from this.
Right.
So then lastly, my other point I would like to make is that what he's doing is very funny and very destructive. One, but also speaks to the poor remuneration system in Nigeria. Yes, it is wrong. What they have done is wrong. Seriously, in Nigeria today, a retiree who has spent his active years in service, what can he start to do now? With collectively about just over 3.5 million naira. What can he what business can he, without any skill, without any training, without any
Did you say without any skills?
Yeah, that's why I said.
Policemen display a lot of skills on the road when they want to harass Nigerians. I mean, weekend monies, oga, where you they go, park there, why do you have dreadlock, do transfer for me. That's a lot of skills.
Well, but that's a funny one. But seriously, I take that back. He actually does have a skill. He is a trained security personnel. He can work at different levels. He can be head of security in a major organization. He can even be a security consultant. Not only security consultant, he can even a former trained security agent, serviceman.
All right.
He can even start up his own company, security service company. He can, there's many things he can do. So indeed, he has a skill. I have to take that one back.
All right. Thank you very much, comrade. Thank you very much. I need to take on Mr. Fanimo now. I quite understand. I think that the argument or the conversation should be around what is being earned first, how to lift the remuneration that our security personnel and of course, whatever you earn, you know what you're expecting at the end of the day. But let me come to Mr. Dele Fanimo joining us virtually from Oyo State. Good morning, Mr. Dele.
Good morning, Adefunke, and good morning, David.
Morning, sir.
Glad to have you join the show.
Good morning to my friend,
Dr. Adosike.
Dr. Peter Anosike.
All right.
I'm only expecting the Esquire part of it.
Doctor is smiling.
He's going to
I'm
respond
sure
to
you made
he will
his
respond to you
weekend.
in his own time.
I'm smiling because of the rigging that you people did. You know that they didn't have sympathy for the police and you smuggled him in.
Exactly, I had to do that because I didn't want you to talk first. I needed to go to Mr. Dele Fanimo. Mr. Dele Fanimo, let's hear from you. A retired superintendent of police, Emmanuel Friday, has condemned the 2.87 million gratuity paid to him. And of course, Comrade Ibrahim has established the fact that for payments like this, it's what you put in that you get. And like I said, while I was introducing this conversation, everybody knows what they are going into. You might ask for a pay rise looking at what the dynamics are right now with our economy, but you need to also establish the fact that none of these things were done in secrecy. So how do you react to this video?
You see, let me start by letting you know that there are certain basic things that we need to know about the contributory pension scheme that was established, that came into law in 2004. It's a clear departure from the old norm where the government pay.
Hello, Mr. Dele.
Oh dear.
Okay. Okay, the network is bad. We'll reconnect with Mr. Fanimo. While waiting for him to come back, let's come to Dr. Peter Anosike. Doctor, just go ahead.
But before you say anything, Doctor, sorry to want to buzz in. We're talking about the contributory scheme of the pension for the police. But let's put this out there. Interestingly, a CSP, that's the Chief Superintendent of Police in Nigeria, earns about 199,723 naira, 96 kobo. So annually, he gets about 2,396,687 naira 52 kobo. This is what the CSP of police earns. So let's have you continue from there.
What you're talking is officially.
Official.
Exactly,
Yes.
because I was just looking
How
at
much does he
David.
earn from the road?
Okay.
Because you don't even need to be on the road to get money from the road. They have a sharing formula.
How much?
But let's leave doctor to answer the
Are people
question
talking
first.
about the basic salary that he earns?
The basic
Let's-
that he
let's not even
earned
go
and he
to what he
signed
gets
and
from him.
agreed to earn.
Exactly.
There are a lot of
Exactly. That's where I'm
Nigerians
going.
that are earning terribly low and are still extorted by these policemen.
That's why I brought the
so
figures out.
he
So-
took up the appointment and he agreed to serve
That's why I
Nigeria.
brought the
Doctor,
figures
let's
out.
have
Doctor, go ahead.
So for me, the issue is this: there's a saying, when you pay peanuts, monkeys will work for you. Understand?
Okay.
So you cannot be paying somebody peanut and expect an international best standard from the person. So this is where all these things starts. Understand me? It's not just in the police, it's everywhere, even in the army. Because one, it makes them angry. It makes them it brings about frustration. You know that when you have a kind of emergency or health issues, what you are being paid would not be enough for you. Understand me? So, and what happens, instead of facing your employers, which is government, they transfer the aggression to the masses, to the innocent masses. Yeah. So they are now using the road to augment the NATO that government is paying them.
Okay, so Barrister, Doctor, looking at the fact that you just mentioned earning lower, what conversation should we have when it comes to living above your means, which is relatively what these people do, for them to wanting to get even more funding to do any other thing that they want to do? How about living within your means?
The issue is this: what I have always been against an NLC focusing on increment in wages.
Right.
Increment in wage, that's not the way to go. If you can pressure for things that to come down. Maybe stable and affordable things in the country. Even if you are receiving 30,000 naira, it can take you a long way.
Access to healthcare, basic healthcare.
Understand me? Sure. But when salaries is being pushed up, inflation is going up. Understand me? Okay. But the best way that to become rich is just to live below your income. Understand me? That's what we used to say that's in business. Pretend as if you cannot afford enough of bread till they discover that you are the owner of the bakery. Right. Understand me? So, but police has not been fair to themselves and to the masses. There's a saying that what goes round comes round. Understand? And understand me? When Nigerians are protesting during end bad governance, which is for the good of all. Right. Police who are shooting people, arresting people. People who are fighting for you, for what will benefit everyone, you. Yeah, right. This man that said that he will not sign to connect that money.
Who's lost?
Still have his gunje remaining. If not, he would have signed it. Because he knew what he's going to get at the end of the day.
Do you think that he's trying to gain public sympathy, like Comrade Ibrahim rightly established, talk about how people go on social media, put out stories and get the attention of well-meaning Nigerians across the globe to support them? And also, was it even ethical for him to do? Because we know how police help even business owners harass their staff. We've seen people that have been owed by their employers being arrested unlawfully by policemen, locked up, and at the end of the day, you almost have nobody to fight for you if you are nobody in this country. So what exactly is he up to? Do you think that that was ethical to do?
Well, it is not what he's supposed to do, because he knew that he's committing offense. Understand? And I'm sure that the IG will instruct them not to pay him that money. Maybe he...
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor, for that response. Let's talk about the police force with Mr. Dele Faribo. Mr. Faribo, thank you for reconnecting with us. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so go ahead. We've said a lot of things, but go ahead. Let's get your thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, as I was saying, I think the first thing is to remove police from the contributory pension scheme, because it won't pay them at the long run. These are people that committed their whole life to doing this job and taking so much risk on our behalf. So I think the proper thing to do is to make sure that we...
I think we might just have to let you go.
He's talking like a PPRO.
We might just let you go, Mr. Dele Faribo, because I really wanted him to land, and I wanted to ask when he said these are people that have been risking their life. I wanted him to specify, is it the ones that carry the bags of the VVIPs or the ones that are personal escorts?
Well, let's also be fair. It's not all the police that are terrible.
It's not all. But when he said that,
you have committed all your life to this business.
Exactly. I was
so
going there.
Every other
we are in the private sector for the media space. We know what it feels like. There are people that work for government-owned media outlets. The other day on a sister station, they were talking about staffing and a lot of things in different sectors. And Dr. Abati said it outrightly that, how about how media personnel are being treated? We are quick to look at what is wrong, but have you even looked into your own eyes and remove whatever pegs are in there? When you say that you want to remove the police, talk about other institutions. We have people working in federal parastatals, state parastatals, and we see this harassment happening every day. You see that you go to an office, there is a colo in front of somebody, and they are telling you that, what is colo? Colo is like a piggy box where you drop money. These things happen. I had my child in a general hospital. So they've so modernized it because they don't know who you are. They don't even need to ask you directly anymore. Okay. These things happen. So after sucking Nigerians
I want to also
dry, you now want us to pity you. How much are Nigerians earning?
Okay, let me ask Doctor before we go to Benin and ask the same question. Mr. Fanimo did say that the police should be taken off the contributory pension scheme.
So where?
So where?
I would have loved them to really finish that conversation, but let's just have a clear, or let's just assume that the police is taken off that scheme. Where do you think they can take them to? And then
no, Nigeria will be paying them. That's the option.
Would that really change the narrative about what we're talking about right now when it comes to both pensions?
Wait, would you stop them? Will you stop them from taking
bribes
or
harassing people?
Understand me?
People have had to
Extorting
borrow
people.
money for bails in this country. So it's not about what you earn. It's about the value in the system.
Okay.
People have talked about raising the pay for security personnel, but the truth is it going to change who they really are?
Doctor just answered to where, and that seemed like a major. He's asking me a question.
There is really nowhere to go to, doctor. Where they will take them to is to add them to the burden on the federal government already, to start paying them from the coffers of whatever is made from all of the revenues generated. So we will generate revenue as a country and pay people that we served all our lives. Yes, you protect us maybe in the night when we are sleeping, but we protect you during the day.
How do you protect?
Coverage. Let's just go to our guest, please.
Coverage, can we have your opinion on this? If the police is taking off the pension scheme, I mean, what should be the next line of action when it comes to remuneration and, of course, pension? As it were, you would also recall a couple of days ago that the retired police officers went to the National Assembly to protest, a peaceful demonstration, basically. But basically, let's have your opinion on this question as well.
Well, on the specific issue around the removal from the contributory pension scheme, I think the CPS is not the holy grail. It is not without its faults. You know, being a lecturer myself, I know that ASO has also had a similar challenge with the contributory pension scheme.
Right.
So that's one. I think that it is not without its own challenges. It is contributory pension scheme. Though it didn't eventually land on his thought why he wants the police to be removed. But I think what is more fundamental is that the police in their conduct have not shown any cause why the people should pity them when they come out. Because the one who is seeking pity was just yesterday an oppressor. He harassing, haranguing, and marauding over the populace because we are putting on the uniform that we gave to you as a people. It is our money, our tax that you used to fund the police. You use that to harass, oppress, harangue, the Nigerian citizen, the hapless Nigerian citizen. Today now you are looking for, you are seeking pity. You are going on social media to so that you can trend and curry favor. I think that maybe those who are arguing that the police should be removed from the contribution scheme should tell us why they want it to be removed. But generally in Nigeria, two challenges. One is that the level of remuneration is very poor across board. It's not only the police. Across board, the media, the educational sector, civil service, everybody is earning less than what they should earn. Secondly, the cost of living crisis is too expensive to live in Nigeria. You imagine, how would you imagine, for example, if somebody in Nigeria and somebody in the US earns $2 billion, that's so much, $2 million. That's so much money because of the value of their currency. So our naira is, value is very low. So that 2 million may be big, but it's small. So we need to cut down, like the guest in the studio said, cut down on the cost of living, not just salary increase. What is the cost of, for example, buying a car? Can a civil servant in Nigeria today buy a car, a brand new car? No.
A policeman can buy.
But those who are engaged in all manners of malfeasance can afford to buy cars. But those who are doing a decent, working independently, living within their income, can they afford the basic necessity of life? They cannot. So I'm saying that what the Nigerian government needs to do, Nigerian Employers Association too need to do, is to work around the point about, one, paying a living wage, and two, cutting down on the cost of living. If, for example, we have adequate food being produced locally, naturally the cost of food items will fall. We are seeing that happen to rice now already, in a way, but that's not enough. And then the cost of transportation, if the fuel price drop too, perhaps there can be a discussion around perhaps.
All right. Well, comrade.
If we are producing vehicles locally,
all
then
right.
the cost of buying a vehicle, yes.
All right then. I wanted to ask you, just in one sentence, while we let you off this conversation and of course get to another one. You did say that if the government can start paying living wage, just almost what Doctor here is saying, with the present economic situation and of course with the way our economy is structured presently, can the government truly pay the living wage?
Yes, one sentence, yes. All the government needs to do is that in a time like this, we do not need to have the biggest government possible. Before now, the highest we have had in terms of ministers in this country was 42 under Buhari. Today we have 48. Why does Nigeria, for example, need a bicameral legislature? Why do we need Senate and House of Reps? People don't have money. Why are you wasting so much money? Do we also know how much these people are earning?
Okay.
All right then.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade. I think that I need to say this. If Doctor talked about when you pay peanuts and how people can be angry, but I think that the people that really need all of the love, this is not me trying to, I'm not trying to manipulate Comrade Ibrahim, but the reality is, I think that lecturers go through a lot. Lecturers go through a lot. Do you know what it feels like lecturing for over 20, 30 years? Maybe you are just walking by on campus and a 100-level student is driving a Range Rover. It doesn't mean that you are going to break his head. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. Because if we continue to make case for the police, I understand the poor remuneration. I think this happens across sectors, from public to private, and most employers in Nigeria are guilty as charged. We love cheap labor. As a matter of fact, the conversations around once you are out, there are a million other people willing to do the job. It's never going to end. And we are enablers because we need to survive. So if everybody now feel like because they are angry, they want to harass the next person, then nobody's going to graduate from our universities.
Oh, well, I like the fact that you said that everybody's guilty and we're enablers as well. But let me still come to Doctor here. Doctor, while we wrap up this conversation because of our time, same question I asked the comrade. Is there a possibility that the government can pay the living wage? And of course, you know what the present...
When government cut the cost of governance, they can. Understand me? When they cut the cost of governance, they can.
Okay. Well, this is where we have to draw anchor on this conversation. But we have to go on a quick break. When we return, we definitely will be coming back with trends. And we urge you to stay tuned with us because right here on Morning Buzz, we surely just want to make sure that your Saturday morning is as beautiful as you want it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
All right, glad to have you back. It is still the Morning Buzz right here on Voice of the People Television. Now let's get to some trends. And I definitely would say that this is something that you want to get into as well. Veteran Nollywood actor Pete Ndochie has declared that Africans, especially Nigerians, have more to teach Western societies about sustaining marriages. In a recent interview, Edochie, who has been married for 56 years now, expressed concerns over the erosion of African values due to modernization. Describing himself as a custodian of Igbo culture, he criticized the practice of kneeling to propose to cultural alien, stating, when you kneel in church, it's to a superior spiritual being. Kneeling to a woman implies her superiority. Edochie argued that Western societies have lost the sanctity of marriage, saying they don't appreciate marriage. It means nothing to them. We can teach them how to get married and keep their marriages. Well, I don't want you to say anything in this video.
Why would I say?
I'm trying not to let you say something about this. No. But then we still have with us, maybe in about a few seconds,
Elder.
Doctor. I like the fact that you added the elder.
The elder is quite important because elder was married before he stopped going to church. So there's a lot of experience that we need to get.
Let's not even talk church. Let's talk culture or not.
No, that's why I said he stopped going to church. Something must have informed that.
Anyways, Doctor, please, let's have your opinion on this conversation about Peter Edochie saying that Africans can teach the Westerners how to keep their marriage, sustainably.
Well, for me, the system in Western world favors the women. Understand? Okay. Why the system in Africa favors the men. Understand me? So, understand? Okay. So that's true. And for me, I don't really buy this idea of husband, wife. Understand me? Understand? Okay. So to me, it's like it's like a master servant. Understand me? That's the way it's being seen in Africa, which I'm not too comfortable with.
Okay, so what are you proposing, so to say?
For me, I believe in freedom. Oh. But in African marriage, there's no freedom.
It's always this dominance.
I get the angle doctor is coming from. There's this culture that makes it feel like
you are a prisoner.
Exactly. There's a culture that misinterprets submission. Yes, I think that's the word to use. Misinterpret submission. Submission is the way to go, actually. I don't think that there is any way two people will work together without one submitting to the other, but it's not relative to a gender. A lot of people have even argued that most Nigerian marriages work when the man is most interested in ensuring that this marriage works. And that involves a lot. When you come with that mindset that this is how it has to be, it might work in the past.
I'm the boss.
Exactly.
No.
But with the way things are changing, the truth is the exposure people have will shape their mindset. Okay. The information people have access to will shape their mindset.
I like the fact where you brought about exposure. And that, again, is the main thing that Peter Edochie was talking about. We have accepted this thing, and it's becoming like this is what we are.
Oh, okay, so for Pete Edochie, when I saw that video, I'm someone that believes so much in our culture, and I'm very traditional and local, trust me. Right. I believe that it made a lot of sense. And we can applaud him because evidence day on his part. But the reality is, times are changing. That exposure you're talking about is what has allowed for women to go through the rigorous time of studying. You know, back in the days, there are courses that you will not find a woman in that lecture room. Yes, even as early as the early 2000s, when I went to the university, there are departments that you would only find one or two ladies. It's not the same anymore. Somebody that took out time to, journalism is broad. The kind of things that you have to read, it opens your mind. Your expectations are different. Okay. So for the men, I don't necessarily believe in the kneeling down thing. Trust me. That's it for me.
That's for me.
So the kneeling thing is not our culture. So.
For me, I see marriage as a partnership.
Okay. Exactly.
Two people coming together, bringing your strength, me bringing my strength. we combine. Understand me?
All right.
So I see marriage as partnership, and again complementing
Each other.
because I'm not strong in discipline. Me as a person, that I don't have that. I don't know how to beat a child.
Okay.
So I have to look for a woman who has that strength to complement my weakness. This is what a marriage should be.
All right,
Yeah,
then
me,
let's
I
go-
like to
let's
con-
go to-
I like to
let's-
spend money, so I need
let's
to
go
look
to-
for a man
Oh, a
that
different
will
case.
complement
Sorry,
my
sorry.
strength.
Yes.
No, a
We got
man
you, we
can
got
have
you.
strength in making
Comrade,
money.
Comrade, let's have you. Comrade, let's have your opinion, please.
Well, it's a very interesting conversation this morning around the marriage. For me, the first point to make is that man by nature is a social animal, and the first unit, the basic unit of that socialization process is the family. It is in family you learn some culture, norms, some proper ways of doing things. It is in family you learn how to brush your teeth, how to comb your hair, how to take your bath every morning, how to iron your clothes, how to properly dispose waste. There are so many norms that are learned in the house, at the home, in family, and it's not a one woman or one man thing. If a woman alone is doing it, it's a very tedious, very difficult task. If the man alone is doing it, it's even worse, because the man, because he has to fend for the children, the family, he has less time to spend on the children than the wife will do. So essentially, the family is a very important unit of socialization. That one, without question, that is the basic thing. But what we are saying is that the crave for materialism, has tended to undermine the sanctity of the family, and the result is there for everybody to see. You see the number of drug abusers in society today, the number of cultists in society today, because these are places people now resort to, or things people now resort to in the absence of the family. The family is not able to do the role it's supposed to play now. What it means is that people have to seek, affirmation, they have to seek validation, they have to seek support. And they turn to things like drugs, like cults. Sometimes people have just to feel, just to belong. Man essentially is a social animal. That's how I feel it. And so I agree with it, because evidence said that marriages last more in Africa than in the Western world. And even the marriages, whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are a traditional worshipper, is a very sacred union in any society, with all due respect. Even though this is a sacred union, there are circumstances that will not allow for marriages to work. Not a fault of the man or the woman, but circumstances will make that marriages cannot work. For example, somebody who is a eunuch, a reverend father, for example. On what basis is he going to get married when he has given his life kind of to God? Somebody who is terminally ill and cannot perform the functions of a man, for example. So there are conditions, circumstances that will not allow for marriages to work. Those are exceptions, not the rule. We have seen in the West. There was a marriage I had. They got divorced for some 2 hours after the marriage in the West, in the US. Some 2 hours after marriage.
It happens in Nigeria too.
Okay,
It happens in Nigeria too. I'm an MC by the grace of God, and we've seen marriages end at the reception, and I'm not even joking or making up stories. So it's unfortunate.
So I also the marriage, I think they made a good point that maybe the West has something to learn. Because I will never undermine the value of the marriage, because I am a family man. I like the idea of the family.
All right.
We appreciate you. Happy married life.
All right, then let's bring it back to the studio. Doctor, interestingly, this conversation about marriage, and just like you mentioned earlier, it has to be complementing each other. But again, some quarters have said that marriages is what makes our society what it is. How can parents...
That's the product of that marriage.
Marriage,
Yes.
Now, how can Africans consistently try to hold on to their cultures and values when it comes to marriage, and of course still try to imbibe the part of inclusivity when it comes to the Western path of marriage, because that's another conversation we're not having at all.
Holding to culture that is good, because some cultures are not good. Understand me? Because a lot of African cultures are anti-women and anti-children. Understand me? I have heard stories of that women are not supposed to eat egg. Understand me? As a part of chicken that children shouldn't eat.
Yes.
So are
the
those
tie
cultures?
is for daddy.
Understand me? Are those cultures for
In fact,
me?
when you have family functions and you kill a cow, there are some families that the head has to go to the men. As a matter of fact, the firstborn male, not even female. So you can be the firstborn female and the first male might be the last child in the family. He has to be the one to first come and take all the parts of the meat that he wants before the women.
And those are the choice ones.
And that's the mentality he will take to marriage.
So
because
it's not good. So we hold on to cultures that are good. Understand me? A lot of the cultures were fabricated by men.
I think the culture we should hold on to is the one that you just have to be a baby girl for life, and the men. A typical Igbo man, I want to show that now my container be that. He wants his wealth, his money, and everything to show. You should rub off on his family. Right. That's the kind of culture that we want, not the culture of don't talk in public. Okay. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and a lot of well-meaning Nigerian women right now.
All right. Okay.
Now, this issue of behind every successful man is a woman, for me, is wrong. Understand? Because now, Dangote signs does his wife sign? Understand me?
No, when they say woman, I think that statement is even more about your mother. And I'm saying this even as a woman. The truth is, women, yeah, you might say that you've been there through thick and thin and whatever, but you chose to stay. You probably saw potentials and that's why you stayed. If you say that behind a man, I think the person that will be with you no matter what happens is your mother. And yes, she deserves all the accolades. Women should be respected irrespective of our position, but we don't even have to be behind you to make the money. Just spend the money. That's my own.
All right, then. I don't know if Comrade has one or two to say in just about 30 seconds while we wrap up this conversation today.
Yeah, I agree with Dr. Adolfi that there are some, cultural practices that we have introduced over time that we ought to give up. But I don't think marriage is one of them anyway. So I agree with you essentially that there are some very deleterious character we used to exhibit, and we hold on to the fact that it's culture. That's like, no. The famous line in Coming to America, they said, it's the culture. Who's supposed to change it? And the woman said, I thought you were the king. And
we even saw that the king did not even like the slave mindset of the lady that was going woo. So sometimes it's just what we've seen over time that has shaped the way we think life should be. African culture, African value is top notch. I always say it. Africa was created with greatness, and we would also always stand out in the world. But sometimes we need some mental shift just so we can have a better space. We are global now. We have people traveling across the globe. Imagine somebody asking naughty questions abroad, questions that are not your business because of where you're coming from. A guy lost his job in the UK. I saw that 2 weeks ago, asking his colleague how you're big. For them, you're body shaming her. But back in Nigeria, I just feel even a man that his belly is down can still see a woman and say, why you can't be like this? Things like that. We need to move away from how we think women should be. We need to understand that we are all humans first, and everybody deserves respect. Put money aside, even though very important. There is no woman that would not submit in a place of love, even if you have some foundational problem.
All right.
But this is your issue of money. That's
Doctor, it takes a lot of money.
I don't go with it.
It takes a lot lot of money for me to be fine.
You'll be talking money.
Doctor, you are working so hard for us.
Oh my goodness.
For my children.
I'm your child. I don't have to be your wife for me to benefit from your money.
All right, that's what a beautiful conversation we've had here. I want to say many thanks to every single person who, of course, was available today for us talking from the studio here. Dr. Peter Anosike, a major economic player when it comes to the economics. And of course, he is a Voice of the People TV's in-house political affairs analyst. Also, we had joined us virtually Mr. Dele Fanimo, who, of course, is a seasoned reporter and VOP analyst as well. And all the way from Benin City in Nigeria, we had Comrade Ibrahim Momo, who is a lecturer of political science at the Ambrose Ali University, Epuma, Edo State, a public affairs analyst as well. I want to say thank you so very much, gentlemen, for being here. On behalf of myself and the entire backroom staff, I'm not going to say it on behalf of her. She was going to say that.
I won't be half. Say your half, let me say my half.
David Edwin saying, do have a beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead. Don't allow the weekend weaken you. Always, and at all time, pray for Nigeria. Nigeria is a good country. God bless Nigeria. Absolutely. And for my beautiful self, Adefunke Jaisimi, I mean, you couldn't have started your Saturday with this much energy and not have an amazing weekend. So, this is us saying, have a beautiful weekend.